Well, hello. Yeah, I need to pull some parts out of here. So, hang on with me here. Just bear with me. Just need to, yeah. Okay. I think I want to change out these fans as well because I have some reverse flow that I think would look better. And I want to swap out this one, I think. I don't know. Let me check. Okay, to pick back up. Um, I'm not supposed to be using a SATA cable. So looking for a SATA cable is stupid. Supposed to be using IDE. And I didn't feed it through, so let's see how much of a pain this is going to be. Oh boy. Partition tools. Um, I've never tried this one. Let's see what this one does. Oh my, what is all of this? That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know anything about that one. Let's see. That's blowing out. That's gonna go. That's blowing up. So yeah, I got the airflow I'm looking for. Nothing gets hot now. Hmm. Whoa. No. Okay, future me here, realizing that while editing the video in hopes of getting it out on time, that I have so much footage of all the error messages, it seems kind of stupid to make you sit through all of that. Basically, I was trying to load onto a 2 terabyte hard drive, partitioned to within the allowed size for Windows 98, Windows 2000, and XP. So I could have 3 separate partitions on one hard drive. And that hard drive is SATA controlled. Well, you can't use SATA in Windows 98. So I had this adapter. It converts IDE cable over to plug into a SATA hard drive. Little did I know that this little device was only compatible for Windows 2000 on up. And because of that, I kept running into a multitude of errors ranging from you would partition the drive as, say, 40 gigs and go to format it, and it would format as something like 16 point whatever gigs. Wasn't even close. There were other times where I would try a smaller partition and it would format it much larger. And that was just Windows 98. Turns out I had to use an IDE hard drive, 40 gig hard drive, which worked perfectly fine. And for Windows 2000 and XP, I decided, since they have SATA support, I could just plug in another drive and do SATA and go that route. Except for any time SATA was enabled and something was plugged in, a CD-ROM or a hard drive, Windows 98 spent every waking second trying to load a driver that would load, but it couldn't recognize whatever was plugged in. Meaning that I'd have to go into the BIOS and turn off SATA support in order for it to work, which is ultimately what I did. So I'm saving you sitting through hours upon hours upon hours of me diagnosing and figuring that out, all because this doesn't play with Windows 98. Now, it kind of does if you turn off UDMA, which is ultra something something for the hard drive to reach ATA 100 speeds. And that's fine, except for it still wouldn't partition things correctly for Windows 98. So how about we just go ahead and skip past all the errors so I don't bore you to death. Fire it up and show you that it works. Okay, first up, we're booting to Windows 98. Alright, let's reboot. I'm going to show you how I get into Windows 2000 and XP. As you see, I only have a C drive and a D drive. D drive is basically 120 gigs. There's only one driver not loaded here, and that's because I'm not on Service Pack 4. I'm only on Service Pack 3. But I have the driver for this, so as soon as I install Service Pack 4, I can install this, and that's fixed. Now the only downside is there's the Windows 2000 partition, and here's Windows XP. I'm not completely satisfied with how this is set up, but for right now, it works. All the drivers are loaded. So this one isn't up to date either. I have to get them Windows 2000 and Windows XP both up to date. But outside of that, everything is working. Okay, so it was a success technically, even though it's not the way I wanted to do it. Ideally, I wanted to have everything on one drive. Something tells me that's not possible. If you know where I went wrong or a better way of doing things as far as the storage goes, I'm all ears. I would love to hear it. The only thing I don't ideally want to do is have any kind of swappable drives. I ideally want it just to be one drive inside the case, done deal, with plenty of space. Maybe I won't get what I want. Who knows? But overall, red motherboard, red stick of RAM, and I happen to find an NVIDIA GeForce FX 5200 with a red PCB. So it's all red and ties in together. Next week I will do some benchmarking, and I've got a couple games in mind that I want to test out to see if this performs better overall, which it should, but we'll see. And then maybe we'll test out that 6800 GT, I think is what I've got. So until next week, thanks for watching. Please give it a like, subscribe, comment if you got some suggestions. And you have a good one. Bye.